Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's the prodigious, the prominent professor at Proclamation News and Gatherings, PNG. We are live on air, live on the Castbox FM, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Big O TV, and we're live on Tango. Thank you all so much. We are motivationally speaking across the international relations in politics. Thank you all for coming in. We've got Nigerian politics, we've got American politics, we've got English politics with different ethnicities. Why? Because I believe we all share the same blood. We all share the same. Well, really, we should share the same Jesus, but obviously we all got different race, different cultures, and we all believe we come from the womb of our family, the womb of our families. Don't think I'm discriminating because that's very far from or very far in between. So don't try and come there and think, let's be judgmental on this olive. Don't be judgmental on this olive kid because I've got a lot of mixed ethnicity in my family. So, I take salt in people's wounds like compassion when they come across discrimination towards their ethnicity because my granddad's from Pakistan. My mum is half West Indian and our ancestors are West Indian. So I'm a bit of an olive. So I'm not white, I'm not black, I'm not quite half caste, unfortunately, which I'd like to be a bit more tan than just an olive. But I do appreciate all ethnicities and the way we preach throughout our churches and religion. And xenophobia could be part of the root of the problem, where we have obviously my granddad was a Muslim, so I've got a lot of love for Muslim family, but a lot of, I mean, in Turkey, I must admit, they did accept me in their mosque. I've been accepted in a few mosques across the globe because of my ethnicity and my family. I've got no hatred. I've got pure love and passion between all ethnicities. Um, I mean, we have Christianity. We have some. I always say black 'cause I'm not being discrimination. Black Christians trying to accept, which I don't know where I'm from. They just think it's a white boy, perhaps. We should preach it in a way of Theophilus. Doesn't matter what ethnicity you are. Ethos. We all should be ethos and spiritual guided compassion to let everyone in and believe and take the Ten Commandments together because that's what keeps us all grounded, isn't it? It all keeps us grounded. All keeps us purity within the law divides, the law multiplies. I mean, I've been studying politics for past year now. I've been listening to LBC for the last couple of years. I'm doing my own radio presenting, trying to build actually its audience. But obviously, when I don't know if many radio presenters think like I think very fluent from the root of the problem. The root of the problem comes through history and decades of war and you know different cultures not getting on with one another because they've got more coal, they've got more fruit in their countries. So we're going to war with these countries to try and tackle one another. It's always going through the parliament, different politics of we need metal, coal, whatever, this, that, and the other. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. I tried to introduce myself. My real name is Justin Johnson. Obviously, I like to call myself the prodigious, the prominent professor, because quite frankly, I do deserve it. Science, he should understand law. I haven't got a degree, but I understand criminal law, understand constitutional law. Anyway, let's get on to today's formation. Let's not bore you to tears with why I should be called professor and why I shouldn't. But anyway, here we are today. International relations within politics. Error of my system. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming back. I'm still performing at the highest divine elevation, as always, trying to keep motivated as we have technical issues. It's no major because it always comes back after a few seconds. Serious injuries after passenger train derails near Stonehaven during the storms. Serious injuries have been reported after a passenger train derailed near Stonehaven in Aberdeenshire as storms caused disruption across Scotland. A major incident has been declared, and about 30 emergency services vehicles, including air ambulance support, have been called to the scene. Smoke was seen coming from the area. First Minister Nicola Sturgeon described it as an extremely serious incident and said there were early reports of serious injuries. Speaking into the Scottish Parliament, she said, "My immediate thoughts and the thoughts of those across the chamber are with all those involved. Prime Minister Boris Johnson said, I am saddened to learn of the very serious incident in Aberdeenshire and my thoughts are with those affected. Many thanks to emergency services at the scene. The chief executive of Network Rail, Andrew Haines, is cutting short his family holiday in Italy. He will fly back to UK on Wednesday afternoon and then head to the site. I mean, it's times like this when you read. I don't know if you have a lot of condolences yourself. You feel for the people involved. You feel for the NHS. You feel for the police having to attend to these incidents of mass destruction of a train, possible loss of death of like young children, mothers, fathers, loved fathers, their children, never touched narcotics or alcohol in their life, and they're getting, even ones that have been touched in alcohol, narcotics, doesn't necessarily mean they're bad news, because we all get pulled through hell in life once or twice in our lifetime, because sometimes it can be a case of bullying. Look at Amy Winehouse, for instance, her relationship. Poor woman. You don't know if she could, a bit of help, she could have pulled through and become a better woman. We can't mock her whatsoever. We don't know what happened in the ins and outs of people's lives. So, anyway, the incident took place at Carmont near Stonehaven as torrential rain and thunderstorms caused flooding and travel disruption across many parts of central and eastern Scotland. Miss Sturgeon said the derailment had happened in a very difficult location for emergency service to access, she added. I know and appreciate that there will be many families who will be anxious if they believe their relatives who are on the train. We do everything we can to make sure the emergency services are supported, that families are supported. The train was made up of two locomotives at the front and back and four carriages. It is understood that the front locomotive and three passenger carriages have left the track and are now sitting on the embankment. British Transport Police said its officers have been called to the scene of derailment at around 9:43 a.m. A few minutes later, Network Rail tweeted there had been reports of a landslide at Carmont. At Carmont, we had reports of a landslide, which means services can operate between Dundee and Aberdeen. The landslide went straight across the track. There's pictures on Twitter. NHS Graham Payne confirmed it was a major incident footing, and Scottish Rail said it was assisting for the emergency services. Kevin Lindsay, the Scottish organiser for Train Drivers Union ASLEF, said, we're aware that it is an extremely serious incident and our thoughts are with everyone involved. The RMT Union's Mick Lynch said, the facts behind this incident will need to be established in due course. But at the stage we are focused on support and assistance and our thoughts of all those impacted by this tragedy. Imagine if you was in that situation yourself. Put yourself in their shoes. If it was your family in that situation. Anyway, we're going into international relations. We're going into politics in Nigeria. Some people were thinking, why are we going into politics in Nigeria? Other Nigerian family that are preach the good news. Anyway, breaking Sanu Olu speaking on APC appointment ahead of Ondo election. The governor of Lagos State, H.E. Badajide Sanwo-Olu, has promised to lead the All-Aggressive Congress (APC) to victory in the forthcoming governorship election in Ondo State. He made this known in a series of tweets on Twitter page on Wednesday while reacting to his appointment as the chairman of the party's high-level National Campaign Council for the Ondo State governorship election. The governor described the appointment as an honour to serve the ruling party. Sanwo-Olu also promised the party's governorship candidate in the state of the incompetent governor, Rotimi Akeredolu, of a second term in the office. He also described Akeredolu as a brother, adding that his colleague is ready to consolidate his achievements into Ondo State. The governor noted the council of 103 other eminent and distinguished party leaders is an affirmation of how serious the APC takes the re-election of Acquavadolo. It is an honour to lead the APC National Campaign Council for the Ondo State Governorship election. The Council of 103 other eminent and distinguished party leaders is a affirmation of how serious our party takes the re-election of my brother, Governor Bottomy Acquavadolo. As the campaign council settles down to deliver on its mandate, I give my strong commitment to ensure the task ahead of the council is faithfully executed and victory will be certain. It is an honour to lead the APC National Campaign Council for the Ondo State Governorship election. The Council of 103 offer other eminent and distinguished party leaders is an affirmation of how seriously our party takes the re-election of my brother Governor, me, Acquavadolo. Read that the chairman of the caretaker extraordinary National Convention Planning Committee of the party, Governor May Malabuni, had appointed Samo Olu to lead the re-election of Acquavadolo. In a statement by the Deputy National Publicity Secretary of the party, Ikini Nabena, on Tuesday, the campaign council will be inaugurated on Saturday, 15 August 2020 at the APC National Secretariat by 2 p.m. The Ondo governorship election is scheduled to hold on October the 10th, 2020. We're looking at UK politics, ladies and gents. We're going to look at one of the Conservative members. I think this lady is quite phenomenal. Quite phenomenal. Bringing feminism to, I'm not sure if she's Muslim race, but maybe Indian or something like that. Piriti Patel. Bringing absolute feminism. She's like a franchise to her race, her culture, to her people. To Whittam as well. She's from a Whittam. She's a Whittam girl. Very elegant, very sophisticated, very intelligent. I'm not, coming across as chatting them up. I'm just coming across as being serious. I take my role seriously. I take my role professionally, and I take this role in constitution of UK politics as a professional radio presenter. Priti Patel, Home Secretary, takes on Ben and Jerry's over migrant boats. A source close to Home Secretary Priti Patel has branded Ben and Jerry's ice cream overpriced junk food after the company criticised her stance on cross-channel migrant crossings. In a series of tweets, the firm urged her and others to show more humanity, adding that the people cannot be illegal. The government earlier said the UK must consider changing asylum laws to deter migrants from crossing the channel. More than 4,000 have made journeys successfully this year. On Saturday, the Home Office asked Defence chiefs to help make crossings of the dangerous route in small boats unviable. On Tuesday, the official Ben & Jerry's UK Twitter account posted several tweets tagging Home Office, which began, "Hey, at Priti Patel. We think the real crisis is our lack of humanity of people fleeing war, climate change and torture." It added, "People wouldn't make dangerous journeys if they had any other choice." The account also tweeted, "People cannot be illegal." It's not long ago the corporate statements of anything, even tangentially political, were anodyne to the point of being crashing boring. And it's if they said anything at all. Well, things have changed. Brands, big and small, feel increasingly confident about getting stuck in the social media. The risks are obvious. In a space that revels in the pity of binary and divisive, divisive to proclaim is to pick a side. I had a bit of a speech impediment there. My bad. Divisive, as so potentially irritate a sizable chunk of our customers. So why do it? To stand up for something you believe in, sure, but also to act as a brand multiplier. to get people talking about you and your stuff, to catch the public mood, or at least a majority of it. The curious thing with this intervention directly targeting the Home Secretary is that Priti Patel has said very little publicity about what's been happening. But a Home Office source replied, Priti is working day and night to bring an end to these small boat crossings, which are facilitated by the international criminal gangs and rightly of a serious concern of the British people. If it means upsetting the social media for a brand of overpicked junk food, then so be it. And Foreign Officer Minister James Cleverly tweeted, Can I have a large scoop of statistically inaccurate virtue signaling the most grossly overpriced ice cream, please? Ben and Jerry's, founded in 1978 by the best friends Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenfield, was purchased by the multinational company Unilever in 2000 for around 326 million to 246 million. Last week, it announced it was extending a halt to paid advertising on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram until the end of this year, accusing the social media giants of doing too little to remove hateful content information. Earlier on Tuesday, Prime Minister Boris Johnson said it was currently very, very difficult to legally return to work who arrive in the UK from France using small boats. More, more on international relations on UK politics, ladies and gents. We're going into the realms of the US market trade. No, not trade. We're talking about US possible Prime Minister. US possible Prime Minister Kamala Harris, BP pick. How she could help or hurt Joe Biden. Sometimes the obvious pick is obvious for a reason. Kamala Harris was the front runner to be Joe Biden's running mate pretty much since the government presumptive Democratic nominee announced in March that he would pick a woman to be on his ticket. She was a safe pick and a practical one. She's also now in a position to be a parent for the Democratic Party, whether it's in 4 years because Biden loses in November or doesn't run for re-election for 8 years if Biden serves two full terms. That could be why it seemed that there were so many attempts to knock Harris down a peg or advance alternative candidates over the past month. This was, in effect, the first fight of the next presidential nomination contest. Where was he? Yeah, contest, and Harris, whose ambitions are clear, now has to step on the competition, but determining future Democratic nominees is a battle for another day. The pressing concern of the party at the moment is how Harris might help Biden win the White House election. Thank you, Mr. VRP. I appreciate it. I'll be with you 2 seconds, buddy. Here are some strengths she brings to the ticket and perhaps some concerns Democrats may have. I'm just doing my journalism, buddy. I'll be with you in about 5 minutes. Diversity, to put it bluntly. Today's Democratic Party doesn't look like Joe Biden is young and ethnically diverse. It was increasingly obvious that the presumptive nominee needed to find someone younger and, well, less white to have a ticket that reflects that the people who will vote for it. Mr. VRP, I'll come find you a minute if you go live because I'm literally got about 10 minutes left on my journalism. Harris, whose father was Jamaican and mother came from India. This is particularly neat. She becomes both the first black woman and the first Asian to run on a major party presidential ticket. And although at 55 years, she's not exactly young. When compared to the 70-year-old Joe Biden, she's downright spry. On Tuesday afternoon, before she was announced as Biden's pick, Harris tweeted about the need for diversity in the leadership of the party. Black women and women of color have long been unprecedented in elected office in November. We have the opportunity to change it, she wrote. It turns out Harris could be directly responsible for some of that challenge. Attack dog, one of the traditional roles of the vice presidential running mate is to get down and dirty of the opposition, while the person at the top of the ticket takes the theoretical high road. The number two cracks out the brass knuckles for the opposition in 2008, Sarah Palin, John McCann's running mate, more than lived up to her nickname, Sarah the Barracuda, for instance. If this is a duty that falls on Harris, history suggests that she'll get up to the task. Biden certainly recalls that it was Harris who went after him with a gusto during the first Democratic primary debate in July 2019, criticising his opposition by busing to end segregation in public schools. Harris also proven to be very determined and aggressive interrogated during her time in the US Senate. Donald Trump clearly remembers this, as he remarked on Tuesday evening that he thought that Harris was extraordinarily nasty to his second Supreme Court nominee, Brett Kavanaugh. Trump may not like it, but nasty may be exactly what Biden is looking for this autumn. The steadiness on the finger of politicians who have run the national office. He has said that time and time again it is impossible to understand the intense pressure such campaigns create until one actually been in one. Although Harris' 20 presidential bid was unsuccessful and dropped, most of the competitors she will knows what it is like to be under such scrutiny, which has launched her campaign before tens of thousands of supporters. In January 2019, she was treated like a top-tier presidential contender from a time in July, and after a strong first debate performance, I'll give you 2 seconds, PRP, she rose towards the top of some primary polls. Harris has been through the fire, at least for the time, and knows what it feels like. If there were serious dinosaur-sized skeletons in her closet, they would have come out by now. Given that she's ready to short the presidency, it is possible for many Americans to imagine her president someday. California senator may have been the most dynamic candidate on the campaigning trail in 2019. She was certainly not nearly the most successful one, but at this point, a known quantity, and for Biden, who is currently up for the polls. At all the fewer surprises, the rest of the campaign is better. Drawbacks, Harris is a cop. Ladies and gents, that is it on POC and PNG on YouTube, Castbox. I've got some business to deal with. I've just passed my audition with my family on my big O TV. Thank you. God bless people. People listening, please subscribe, share, and I'll be back tomorrow, same time. God bless. Take care. Have a lovely, lovely Wednesday afternoon. Yes, Mr.